This man preach every Sunday. Topics about love and about mercy, they felt very strange coming from his lips. I stared myself in the mirror a lot of the times, and maybe I do look like him, maybe. For as long as I can remember, I have been raised as TB Joshua's daughter.
I knew the child, Ajoke, right from birth.
She's his actual daughter, his biological daughter, with another woman outside of wedlock.
He doesn't seem to like her very much. She was like kind of labeled the black sheep of the family.
I was in primary school. I was made to move to the disciples' room. I didn't volunteer to be a disciple. I was made to join.
Ajoke grew inside the synagogue, like an outcast.
I think he wanted to keep her a secret. I don't think he wanted anyone to know who she was. The message about Ajoke was that she had terrible evil spirits that needed to be driven out. There was a time in the disciples' meetings, he said that people could beat her. Anyone in the female dormitory could just hit her, and I saw people just walking in, just slapping her as they walked past.
Ajoke, little thing, you see somebody slap her.
There was a particular time that I was very tired. I had slept a little bit too much.
So he started like shouting at her to get up, to get up, to get up. And there was another like disciple there who basically took her to the shower and whipped her with an electrical cord and then turned the hot water on.
Put my head right on the hot water. I was screaming at the top of my voice, and I just let the water run on my head for a very long time. We're talking about years and years of abuse, consistent abuse that wasn't ending.
He hated her, and he punished her for being born. Her existence was probably the biggest threat to his reputation.
I couldn't even have an identity. That kind of pain cannot be put into words. I felt like, you know what, maybe I really don't deserve to be alive.
What's her fault? What has that girl done? It pains me. She was still very young that time. Can you imagine how heartless we were?
How many of you knew TB Joshua had a foster daughter? A daughter that he was trying to hide from the world. How many of you knew it? That TB Joshua had a daughter. How many of you? Directly speaking to the church members and the supporters. How many of you knew TB Joshua had a foster daughter that he doesn't want the world to know? How many of you? If you guys claim to know him that well, how many of you knew him? Knows that he has a foster daughter? Because the Jesus Christ, we knew everything about him, right? We knew whether we would have known if he was in a relationship, if he had a girlfriend, if he was in a sexual entanglement with anyone. We could have known. They could have recorded it. No? Well, I understand. Yesterday night, I slept and I was thinking. I said, God, you know what? I know this matter, TB Joshua matter, doesn't really concern me, but because it involves so many people, it kind of like concern all of us. And one of the issue that we are having, that a lot of people are saying about TB Joshua, is that why are these people coming out now when the man is no longer alive to defend himself? And let us be honest. Let us be honest. I've been seeing old footages ever since. And this particular woman with this eyes, this particular woman, this woman for the past few years, on a regular basis, this woman has been protesting, and others as well, protesting against TB Joshua. She said she knew TB Joshua personally, that TB Joshua did a lot of crazy stuff to her. which I do not want to mention because of our YouTube rules and regulations. Well, I wasn't there. TB Joshua never for once addressed any rumor, never for once addressed any allegations. Let's get that straight, guys. Never for once address it. And again, let us also get it straight that in Nigeria, African media never paid attention, never deemed it right for them to do an investigation on Pastor TB Joshua. So if an international media decided to do it, well, you are still right to condemn BBC, because BBC has so many other allegations, so many other things that they should also focus their attention on. Like Mrs. A will say, why are they not focusing on the corruption, politician and Tinubu's this and that drug cases? Why are they focusing on TB Joshua? You know, these are mere human beings' experience. This is what human beings will definitely say. You know, this is a man of God loved by so many people, and a lot of people have benefited from him as well. You see a lot of testimonies. As much as you are seeing some crazy stuff about that documentary, you are still going to see a lot of testimonies. Good testimonies from people who have encountered TB Joshua. Yeah, good testimonies from people who he has assisted, Ali Baba, Femi Kayode, then a lot of people as well who he has healed. People still going to synagogue church even after his death, who still believe in that church, in that body of church. And again, people are referring back to when one of his branch collapsed. The building collapsed. No investigation done, nothing done. And people like members around from all corners of the world died under the rubber. And their family are seeking for justice. They are talking. I think that is more of the federal government problem for not doing their investigation properly. And you know, in this system, there's bribing and corruption. So try as much as possible to watch the documentary, the part 1, the part 2, and the part 3. There are so many crazy stuff, like what I suggested. The disciples who were working with him before, who kept quiet, should be liable to some form of punishment. Who knows? No? And I cannot imagine what happened to that man's daughter. You guys might say, oh, the woman, the daughter is pissed because she is the black sheep. You don't know what she went through. You don't know what she actually went through. You don't know what she went through. The world is a really crazy world, guys. It's really hard not to believe this and to believe that and not to believe this. You know, you don't even know what to believe nowadays because of the craziness around it, the craziness in the world. You don't know what to believe, who to believe, and who not to believe.
The miracles he did, the whole thing is stage managed and faked. It's faked. You are healed. I supervise everything for years. I know everything that happens.
Come out if you're suffering from cancer of any part of the body. Body poison of any
It's
part
a
of the body.
complicated system. We have the emergency section.
Here is the emergency section of the Synagogue Church of All Nations.
They are being trained by medical doctors. Any cancerous situation, they send them away. Then, people that had ordinary wounds that can heal will bring them in to present as cancer.
By his wounds, she is healed.
Those people are being fed medication. They give them drugs to get, speedy recovery. What you just see is the before and the finality. I know because I was synagogue chief video editor.
You think that that thing just happened the same day. Some of them took span of 1 year, 6 months.
Wow. Wow. So if someone come out to tell you, I was involved, I was there, I participated, I was there, and this is a full documentary tarnishing a said man of God's name, then I think there should be some form of repercussions. This is not a documentary that people are hiding behind the cameras, do not want to show themselves, do not want to show them face. So I think the synagogue, Church of All Nations, if I'm pronouncing that well, should carry out some form of legal actions against these people. They said everything was stage managed. They will re-edit and edit and edit. Us viewing it on live television, we think is live. But meanwhile, years back, some of those clips were taken years back, and they give them medication. You know, doctors do not really get enough praise. Doctors do not really get enough praise. And these physicians, chemistry, chemistry, and all those people doing this medication, they do not really get enough praise. The next thing we say is, oh, God and God. It's God that actually gives knowledge. They do not get enough praise. The next thing you say is a pastor. Pastor. You give all the praises to pastor. Well, in order for us to avert this kind of trauma in our society, I will suggest clearly that, like I've been saying, parents to teach their kids on how to have faith in the Lord and in the Lord alone. They shouldn't have faith in their pastors. Finish. That is just the bottom line. We need to start re-educating ourselves about the slavery mentality this religion has put us into. We need to start re-educating ourselves. If God says, serve me this way, this is the proper way for you to serve me. You see, some people who claim they are serving God, they are children of God, will be serving the same God in a different way and manner that God never told them to serve Him. And they will still say that, oh, God is pleased with them. Meanwhile, God said, do this thing for me. Do this. This is how you should do it. But you say, no, this is how I'm going to do it. This is who I will do it with. Well, there are so many crazy revolution about that church. Crazy revolutions.
Before I brought out my camera, you said something about yourself. Yes. Can you say it again?
Yes, I said I was also TB Joshua.
Okay.
I was trapped in the synagogue for 14 years of my life. I spent my youth in the synagogue until God set me free. If not for God, I would not be here today.
Okay.
And I've documented it in a book form.
Okay.
Not the time to dress up. This is the time to address. Yes, and I'm also talking on behalf of other young girls that are still in captivity of TB Joshua. 8 years old, 14 years old, 11 years old. Yes, I'm saying it. 11 years old are still there because they have money, because they have fame, because they have...
That's the woman that have been going out for the past year since 2008, calling out TB Joshua. Yes, apparently. And this recording was, this video was recorded 2017. That's even before Pastor TB Joshua passed away. So this woman has been really outspoken. So many people have been coming out before. If you say, why did they not come out? They have been coming out, but you never paid attention because our Nigerian media never paid attention. Let's be honest. Don't say, why have they not been coming out? Because they have been coming out. The Nigerian media do not care about them. So think again before you say, why are they coming out now? They have been there coming out. However, Pastor T.B. Joshua once said that his disciples will betray him. He said his disciple will fight against him. Listen, guys.
In Jesus' name we pray. And the man of vision and mission. Tonight there will be betrayal among my workers. But greater is he that is in me. God has shown me the name and the step and everything. Just say, this is human being for you. He said, they will betray you. And anything can happen. But I'm with you.
Well, making such comment from T.B. Joshua saying that the disciple will betray him over the years, they have been speaking about his workers betraying him. It's kind of contradictory. It makes you like wonder, just exactly the way Jesus Christ did. Jesus Christ said it that, yeah, they are going to betray him. The matter now is a really confusing matter, I swear. A really, really confusing matter. You honestly do not know what to believe. Oh, fake miracle, fake this. TB Joshua, a philanthropy, a cheerful giver, a helper, and so many things. It contradicts each other. It contradicts each other. And meanwhile, there is no form of any proof, no video proof, nothing. Even the daughter that said she experienced a lot of things, she should have some kind of like bruises on her body to prove it. But yet, I don't know. No, there should be evidence. There should be evidence. Like me, myself, I can tell you, my girlfriend has had then inflicted injury on me. And I can show it. I can say, okay, this is the injury. Yeah, this is the injury. Yeah, it caught me here. I can show it and it's visual, right? And this is evidence. This is an evidence. But I want to see evidence. I want to see something. Someone said manipulate. I want to see something. I want to see evidence, man. Did he carry this out such in a very, very clean manner that he made sure there is no evidence, there's nothing to prove that he carried out the act? I want to see evidence. I want to be able to say, okay, yeah, he did this is the evidence, he did this is the evidence. I want to see evidence. I want to see stuff. I want to see materials, but they are not available. The only thing we are hearing is did this, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did that, he did that, he did that. That's all. I want to see evidence, guys. I want to see.